Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism, and this video is sponsored by contribution from Gabrielle. And Gabrielle gave a general contribution, which I'm going to use on this video. And also, this video came from a topic suggestion from Mikey. He had given me a couple topics and I did another topic, but I never actually heard the term vocal fry. And then once I looked, Charlene knew what it was when I said it. And once I looked into it, I realized what it actually is. And what vocal fry actually is when we've talked about the borderline, and specifically, the borderline, the narcissist, when we talk about their sing-song delivery, when they're gaslighting you, when they're talking, just their general how they speak, a lot of it falls under the vocal fry, what would be deemed vocal fry. So what vocal fry, when you break it down to brass tacks, actually is the voice mask of the borderline and the narcissist. So here you have a speech pathologist explaining exactly what vocal fry is and how it works.
Glottal fry or vocal fry is really the lowest vocal register that's produced. It's this aperiodic staccato sound that's formed by compression of the arytenoid cartilages or the vocal processes, which are at the back of the vocal folds. Yet the vocal folds are maintained in a relatively loose position. There's very little airflow. Then the voice becomes very sort of a popping or a creaking sound. It will sound such as or within speech it may sound, today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. That's not what happened. You're an abuser. It is the voice. And the main point is, it's not a real speaking voice. It's not what they sound like. It isn't a natural speaking voice. It is an act. It is a put on. It is the vocal mask of the narcissistic abuser. It is the vocal mask of the borderline.
So the primary issue with vocal fry is really based upon the nature of the vocal fry, which is that there is, did you catch that? Vocal fry, where the nature of the voice change is related to insufficient airflow. So the goal with normalizing voice production or normalized voice quality is based upon sufficient airflow, periodic vibrations of the vocal folds, and then a forward resonance.
But she's dealing with people. See, the question is, this isn't natural. This isn't how they naturally speak. It is a put on. It is a purposeful voice.
So from a therapy standpoint, we would very much direct our efforts towards attending to the airflow, making sure they take a breath, make sure they check their posture, their shoulders and their chest are well stabilized, and that they're using sufficient airflow really from the beginning to the end of the sentence, as it occurs most often at the end of the sentence. So
see, now this person is treating this like it's a real thing, like they can't help it. So now we have something that the narcissistic borderline is doing purposefully. It's not their natural speaking voice, but now they're going to act like there's something wrong with them. That's how they speak, and now they need therapy for this as well. No. This is a new tactic. Not even a new tactic, because the borderline and the narcissist have always used that sing-song delivery. Whenever I've had a borderline or a narcissist that I've had to call out who has written in or sent in, or more specifically sent in audio filed, they talk like this.
instead of saying, today is Tuesday, November 17th. You would say, today is Tuesday, November 17th, in an effort to sustain the airflow. When you sing, you keep the air moving as you sing.
It's also to slow down your speech, because there's nothing more that the narcissist enjoys than wasting your time, especially the borderline woman. So the more time that I can make you sit here and listen to my nonsense, the more irritated you get. You see, this is nothing more than the narcissist's vocal mask.
When you would never trail off, people tend to do that when they speak, so it's about reinforcing that consistent, steady airstream from the beginning to the end.
See, stop. She needs to not act like this is some kind of legitimate thing, because, excuse me, it's not legitimate. It's not a legitimate thing. Nobody speaks like that naturally, ever. It's always a fake voice. It's always a put on. It's done to annoy you, to slow down, to waste your time, to gaslight you. And I've encountered these people for a long time, but I've never heard, I haven't heard until recently, the term vocal fry. But once I looked into it and what it actually is, I'm like, holy shit. This is how most narcissists talk, especially more specifically borderline women. I mean, it's pretty much centered around borderline women. And this is what they will do to take up your time and make themselves, I don't know, just waste your time, and to gaslight you, and to put on an act for, I don't know what they think they're getting out of it. I don't know what they think that the voice is supposed to the reaction that the people are supposed to have who are interacting with it, whether they think that they're smart or they're deliberate. But it's always a mask. It's always the narcissist, the borderline, trying to project something that they're not. So the borderline has, and the narcissist has, their regular mask, their behavioral mask, and then they have their vocal mask. And as largely in part what vocal fry is. And it is annoying as hell to listen to. Back when we first moved down here and I was interviewing for jobs, and I had a phone interview with Saks Fifth Avenue. And the HR rep I was talking to me in that sing-songy vocal fry. I made it halfway through the interview and I had to tap out. I'm like, because I couldn't listen. I'm like, if this is what Saks is putting out there to represent, I can't work there. And I asked her some question. I can't remember specifically what it is. I knew what the answer was, and I knew the answer, and I asked for that, because I knew I was interviewing for like a supervisor position, because I didn't want a management position. And I acted like, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't the manager position? She's like, no, this is like a staff lead. I'm like, oh, no, I'm looking for a management position. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, she's like, you sure you don't? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Because you can't listen to it. You can't. And I think the main goal overall is just to annoy you and to get you to call it out, to get you annoyed, so then they can have their narcissistic breakdown, their borderline spiral, and make themselves into a victim. And now you got somebody like this, like, who's going to sit there and try to work with you to correct this issue. That nobody talks like that normally. Nobody. This is a new thing. Nobody talked like that in the 80s. Maybe like Valley Girls. But that was a different thing. I mean, that was like a West Coast thing. This is something completely different that women are doing for attention, for victimization, to annoy you, to gaslight you, whatever it is. It's another mask, because they don't talk like that normally. You get them annoyed, and you can bring out when they spiral. Because when they go into their spiral, they're not doing that when they're in their full-on histrionic breakdown, screaming at you, you ruined my life, they aren't using their vocal fry voice, are they? So when you hear somebody talking like this, you hear a woman talking like this, run. Run. Because they're putting on a false persona. They're putting on their vocal mask. And when that mask falls, boy, are you going to feel their wrath. So, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, Gabriella, for the contribution, and thank you, Mike, for the topic. I do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comments section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow both my Rumble channels. Follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.